When you're alone, you should call this condition tranquility and freedom, and think of yourself like the gods. And when you are with many, you shouldn't call it a crowd or trouble or uneasiness, but festival and company, and contentedly accept it. Epictetus. When I'm in public, I'm at a festival. It's a mindset, one that is hugely important to my daily Stoic practice. In fact, festival is a personal rallying cry. It reminds me of everything that matters in my philosophy. Festival reminds me of what is in my control. Festival demands that I live in a state of attention. Festival pokes me and says, all these people are family. I haven't run across other Stoics who promote the festival mindset specifically, though I'm sure it would fit naturally in their practice and may go by other names. First, some background. I've dealt with overwhelming anxiety since middle school. Crowds, loud parties, football games and such have never been my favorite environments. In fact, over time, I built up quite a misanthropic view of public gatherings. I had to struggle for a long while to learn a better way to think. That's why Epictetus' quote resonates so strongly with me. The festive approach to life has freed me to enjoy more of my time and more of the world. You'll notice that Epictetus expects us to reframe our circumstances. You're not in a crowd, you're at a festival. Stoics believe in personal accountability for everything that is in our control. Our opinions are one of the categories that falls under our control. You can check out the first chapter of Epictetus' handbook for more on that, or you can recall old Will Shakespeare's "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." The much older Epictetus agreed. He said, people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. We give a lot of grace to the people we're intentionally hanging out with. We've all been to an enjoyable party, good friends having good times. Chances are many of your pals were loud, maybe obnoxious, and yet you still had a great night. This is not because your friends are decent people who know how to party correctly. It's because your expectations were in line with partying. I was sitting in the college cafeteria about a month ago. I grabbed a corner seat with my notes and laptop, planning to read for a while. Behind me, at least 25 students were sitting in groups, laughing, shouting, and randomly getting concert-level loud every few minutes like it was some campus festival. I didn't mind. I came there expecting noise anyway. Under my breath, I even told myself, festival, just to stay focused and not get irritated. About halfway through my second cup of coffee, one of the campus staff came by and said, "You know there's a department celebration happening right behind you." I think he just wanted to explain why no one was asking them to quiet down. It didn't really change my mood, I was already fine, but it gave the noise some context. Then, about 10 minutes later, a couple of students on what looked like a first date sat down at the table next to me. As I moved on to my third coffee, I noticed how differently they reacted to the same environment. They kept glancing back, clearly annoyed. Every burst of laughter from the crowd interrupted their conversation. What was just background noise to me had become a problem for them. And that's when it hit me. Nothing around us had changed. The noise was the same. The people were the same. The only difference was perspective. I had already accepted the chaos, so it didn't disturb me. They resisted it, so it ruined their moment. Sometimes in college and in life, it's not the environment that affects us the most, but how we frame it in our minds. I noticed that my new neighbors were agitated. They were doing the whole head turn and stare at the loud people until they are shamed thing that most of us have done ourselves at one time or another. I leaned over and said, "Yeah, they're having a department celebration over there." The guy next to me replied, "Oh, that's cool then," and they went back to their conversation and never seemed agitated again. That's how we operate. Oh, there's a reason? Fine. And the thing is, there is always a reason when it comes to humans. Maybe it's a foolish or horrible reason, but it's there. For Stoics, the onus is on us to make the adjustment. We don't expect the world to be any different than it actually is. To keep my Epictetus quote streak rolling, let me add this one. It is impossible that happiness, and yearning for what is not present should ever be united. I recently read one of those ubiquitous quote posters that are plastered on every website. It said, "Don't get between my personality and my attitude, because my personality is me and my attitude depends on you." This statement should make any Stoic cringe. Well, I suppose a good Stoic wouldn't cringe, but you get what I'm saying. My attitude depends on me and only me. Final epic quote, this one from chapter 28 of the handbook. If a person gave your body to a stranger you met on the way, you would certainly be angry. And do you feel no shame in handing over your mind to be confused and mystified by anyone who verbally attacks you? Here, Epictetus is addressing a personal attack. The guys in the corner of the bar cheering for a touchdown, they aren't even thinking of us. How much stranger that we take it personally. Festival. The word reminds me that my attitude is a choice. It reinvigorates me when the chaos of the day starts to affect my mood. It reminds me that the discipline of action calls me to care about everyone. Most importantly, it rescues my day from myself. Who would have thought that enjoying my day is more fun than not enjoying it? Developing a festive mind takes work, but it pays well